Have you ever felt like your mind never stops talking? You sit quietly, but inside, your thoughts run like wild horses. You try to rest, but your brain keeps asking questions you cannot answer. What if something goes wrong? What if I lose my job? What if people don't like me? These questions circle around and around until you feel heavy and tired. You tell yourself, I shouldn't worry. But then you start worrying about worrying. It becomes a circle with no door. You are not alone in this feeling. Almost every person alive worries. Even the calmest people you know have nights when they lie awake, thinking about things they cannot control. Worry feels personal, but it is deeply human. It is your brain's way of saying, I want to protect you. It tries to imagine every possible danger so it can prepare you. But the problem is, your brain doesn't know when to stop. It keeps preparing for storms that never come. Imagine your mind as a small house on a quiet street. At night, one sound outside makes you turn on all the lights. Then another sound, and another. Soon every room is bright. Every door is locked, and you are wide awake. That is what constant worry does. It keeps all the lights in your mind on. No rest, no darkness, no peace. But here is a truth most people never hear. Peace is not something you find. It is something you practice. Worry is not a punishment. It is a habit. And like any habit, it can be unlearned, replaced, softened. The goal is not to erase worry completely. The goal is to build a stronger, calmer mind that can breathe even when things are uncertain. Let's start simply. When you feel your thoughts becoming fast, imagine you are holding a small stone in your hand. It is warm from the sun. It does not speak. It does not move. It just exists. Look at it in your mind and whisper, this is the present moment. The stone represents now, the only time that is real. Your past has already happened. Your future has not arrived. But right now, you are safe. You are breathing. You are here. Worry feeds on imagination. It lives in the future. But peace grows in the present. When you bring your attention back to what is real, your breath, the sound in the room, the weight of your body in the chair, your brain starts to calm down. It realizes it doesn't need to prepare for every danger. It learns to trust that you can handle life one moment at a time. So tonight, when your thoughts start running again, do not fight them. Sit quietly and tell yourself, I can feel worry, but I don't have to follow it. Then breathe in slowly. Count to 4. Hold the air gently. Breathe out. Feel how your body softens, how your shoulders drop, how your heartbeat slows. This is the beginning of peace. Not a big explosion of happiness, but a quiet returning to yourself. When you start to notice your thoughts, you may realize something surprising. Most of them are not new. They repeat like old songs. You worry about the same things again and again. The job, the money, the health, what people think. The mind doesn't mean to hurt you. It's just doing what it was trained to do. Protect you from pain. A long time ago, our ancestors had to be alert all the time. They worried about wild animals, cold nights, hunger. Their worry kept them alive. But now the danger has changed. The lions are gone, yet our mind still acts like we live in the jungle. It worries about emails, exams, messages, and opinions as if they are life or death. You can't stop your brain from producing thoughts, just like you can't stop your heart from beating. But you can learn not to believe every thought it makes. Not every thought is true. Some are just echoes of fear, memories of the past, or pictures of the future that never come. Think of your mind as a sky and your thoughts as clouds. Sometimes the sky is full of storms. Sometimes it's clear. But the sky itself never disappears. It stays calm behind everything. You are that sky, not the storm. To practice this, take 1 minute every day to sit in silence. Close your eyes and imagine your thoughts as clouds floating by. Don't fight them. Don't try to stop them. Just watch. One thought says, I might fail. Let it pass. Another says, I'm not good enough. Let it pass too. The more you watch, the more you realize you are not your thoughts. You are the observer. The one who watches can always choose peace. Many people think they must fix every worry before they can rest. But rest does not come from solving every problem. It comes from trusting that you will face each problem when it truly arrives. Most of what you fear never even happens. Studies show that more than 90% of the things people worry about never become real. The mind creates shadows where there is no danger. Imagine you are walking at night and see a rope on the ground. In the dark, it looks like a snake. Your heart races. You jump back. But when you shine a light, you see it's only a rope. The danger was never there, only the thought of it. Worry works the same way. It makes the rope look like a snake. But when you bring awareness, your mental light, the fear begins to fade. So the next time you catch yourself worrying, say softly, maybe this is just a rope. Smile a little. Breathe. Remind yourself that your brain is only trying to protect you. Then return to what is real in front of you. The air, the ground, the sounds. Every time you do this, you train your brain to separate truth from imagination. Worry is not your enemy. It is an overprotective friend. You don't need to fight it. You only need to guide it gently, again and again, until it learns to rest. As you begin to see your thoughts more clearly, you may notice something else. Worry is not only in the mind. It also lives in the body. When you worry, your shoulders tighten, your stomach feels heavy, your breath becomes short. Your body believes there is danger even when you are safe. That's because the brain and body speak the same language. The brain sends fear, the body reacts. The body becomes tense. The brain sees the tension and says, yes, something must be wrong. They start to echo each other like two mirrors facing one another, creating endless reflections of fear. To break that circle, you must calm the body first. When the body feels safe, the mind starts to believe it. The easiest way to do this is with the breath. The breath is the remote control for your emotions. When you breathe fast and shallow, you send the signal of danger. When you breathe slow and deep, you send the signal of peace. You don't need a special place or long meditation. You can do it anywhere. Take a slow inhale through your nose for 4 counts. Feel your chest expand. Hold for 2 counts. Then breathe out gently through your mouth for 6 counts. Do it again and again until you feel your body melting a little. That melting is safety returning. Another way to calm your body is to feel where you are. Look around. Notice 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. This simple exercise pulls you back into the present. The mind can only worry in the future, but your senses live in now. When you use your senses, you remind your brain that life is still happening, that the world is still safe. Sometimes worry hides under busyness. You keep yourself running, cleaning, scrolling, working, so you don't have to feel. But the body remembers everything you avoid. It stores tension like a secret drawer that keeps filling. That's why you suddenly feel tired for no reason, or your chest feels heavy even on calm days. Your body is asking for rest. Listen to it. Close your eyes, stretch your arms, roll your shoulders, move slowly. Tell your body, you can relax now. Even 1 minute of gentleness can begin to heal the habit of fear. You might think this sounds too simple, but real healing is simple. The hard part is remembering to do it. The body believes what you practice. If you practice rushing, it learns to live in alarm. If you practice softness, it learns peace. The more you repeat these small actions, breathing deeply, noticing your senses, moving slowly, the more your nervous system learns a new rhythm. It learns that not every thought means danger, not every silence means threat. Little by little, your body and mind begin to work together again. You start to trust the calm feeling instead of fearing it. You start to believe that safety does not come from controlling everything, but from being present with yourself. When your body begins to calm, something beautiful happens. You start to notice small details you never saw before. The sound of birds outside your window, the rhythm of your footsteps on the floor, the way sunlight touches the wall in the morning. These little things have always been there, but worry made you blind to them. Worry lives in tomorrow, peace lives in now. Every time you notice the present, you step out of the storm. But the mind will not stay quiet forever. It will wander again. It will whisper, what if this peace doesn't last? What if something bad happens? That's normal. The mind's job is to think. Your job is to guide it gently back. Think of your mind as a small puppy learning to walk on a leash. It will run left, run right, get distracted by every sound. You don't hit it. You simply bring it back, again and again, with patience. That gentle returning is the art of living in the moment. Start noticing how often your thoughts travel away from now. You might be eating dinner, but thinking about tomorrow's meeting. You might be walking, but planning a future conversation. When you realize it, smile softly and say, come back. Then look at what is real in front of you, the taste of your food, the smell of the air, the movement of your hands. This small act of noticing is not weak, it is powerful training. Every time you return, you strengthen the muscle of awareness. Worry loses energy when it meets awareness. It is like a shadow that disappears when you turn on the light. The light is not fighting the darkness, it simply exists. That is how awareness works. You don't need to chase your thoughts away. You only need to see them clearly. They fade on their own. Here's a simple practice. When you catch yourself lost in thought, whisper, now, now, now. Say it softly, like a rhythm. Let the word bring you back to your senses. Feel your breath. Listen to the air. Notice your heartbeat. In that second, you are back home. You might lose it again a moment later, but that's fine. The magic is not in staying present forever. The magic is in returning, again and again, with kindness. When you live like this, even small moments start to feel rich. Washing dishes becomes a quiet meditation. Walking becomes therapy. Waiting in line becomes rest instead of irritation. You realize that peace was never hiding. It was waiting beneath your attention. You were just too busy living in the future to see it. Still, it takes practice. Some days your mind will stay peaceful, and some days it will run wild again. That's okay. You're learning, not failing. Just keep coming back to the present moment, like returning home after a long day. The more you return, the shorter your journeys into worry become. The future will keep knocking at your door, but you can choose when to answer. As you keep practicing presence, you begin to see that worry is not only made of fear, it is made of stories. Your mind is a storyteller, always creating movies about what could go wrong. You imagine scenes before they happen. You write full scripts about mistakes you haven't made yet, conversations that never happened, endings that might never come. And because you believe those stories, your body reacts as if they are true. The heart races, the stomach turns, the hands shake. All for something that exists only in imagination. These stories often begin with small sentences. I'm not ready. They'll judge me. I'll probably fail. Each one seems tiny, but repeated again and again, they build walls inside you. You start to live inside those walls, not outside in real life. But here's the truth. Thoughts are not facts. They are just possibilities written by your mind, and you have the right to edit them. When a painful story starts playing in your head, try not to argue with it. Just pause and ask, is this absolutely true right now? Most of the time, the answer is no. It's only one version of the future. Imagine your thoughts as radio channels. One channel is Fear FM. Another is Peace FM. You can't stop the stations from existing, but you can choose which one to listen to. Worry keeps turning the dial to fear. Awareness slowly turns it back to peace. Let's make it more practical. The next time you catch yourself thinking, what if I fail? Replace it with, what if I learn? When your mind says, everyone will judge me, answer softly, maybe someone will understand me. You don't have to shout or fight your thoughts. You only need to offer them new words. Language changes emotion, and emotion changes action. When you speak differently, you start to live differently. You can also write your stories down. Take a small notebook and call it the book of thoughts. Whenever you feel anxious, write the worry exactly as it sounds in your mind. Don't fix it. Just write. Then read it slowly, as if it were someone else's problem. Often you will smile and realize how dramatic the mind can be. Writing gives space between you and your thoughts. It turns confusion into clarity. Remember, you are not weak for worrying. You are creative. You have a strong imagination that just needs new direction. Instead of imagining everything that can go wrong, practice imagining what can go right. Picture yourself calm, confident, smiling. Imagine peace like sunlight slowly filling your chest. The brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. It believes what you repeat. So, make repetition your friend. Every day, tell yourself one simple sentence. I can handle what comes. This short phrase is like a small anchor. It doesn't promise that life will be easy. It simply reminds you that you are strong enough to face it. Each time you repeat it, your mind learns a new story, one where you are not the victim of fear, but the author of calm. Once you begin to notice the stories in your head, another truth becomes clear. Most worry is about control. You keep thinking, if I plan enough, if I think enough, maybe I can stop bad things from happening. Your mind tries to be a guard, standing awake all night. It checks every door, every window, every memory. But control is an illusion. You can prepare for life, but you can't command it. The weather changes, people change, moments disappear. And the more you try to hold everything tightly, the more it slips through your fingers. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop fighting with what you cannot change. Think about holding a cup of water in your hand. At first, it's easy. After 5 minutes, your arm gets tired. After 10 minutes, it starts to hurt. The water didn't become heavier. You just kept holding it too long. That's what worry does. It's not the situation that breaks you. It's the constant holding, the tension, the endless effort to control what is beyond your reach. When you notice yourself holding too tightly, breathe out slowly and imagine opening your hand. Whisper to yourself, I release what I can't control. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. Life always moves, and sometimes the most peaceful thing you can do is move with it. Trees don't fight the wind, they bend. Rivers don't resist rocks, they flow around them. Nature shows you every day how to let go and still remain strong. Here's a small practice. Choose one thing you've been worrying about lately. Maybe it's something at work, a relationship, your health, or your future. Close your eyes and picture it like a balloon in your hand. Feel the string between your fingers. Now imagine slowly releasing it into the sky. Watch it rise higher and higher until it becomes a tiny dot and disappears. You might still feel a little fear in your chest. That's okay. You just taught your brain what letting go feels like. Every time you do it, it becomes easier. Letting go also means allowing life to surprise you. Sometimes the things you wanted to control end up bringing you exactly where you need to be. A lost job leads to a new passion. A closed door leads to a better one. You can't always see the bigger picture while you're inside it, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Trust the process that's unfolding, even if you don't understand it yet. And when your mind begins to say, "But what if it all goes wrong?" gently answer, "Then I'll deal with it when it happens." That simple sentence is freedom. It doesn't deny the problem. It just refuses to live inside it before it arrives. Worry wants you to suffer twice, once in imagination and once in reality. Letting go means you only live each moment once. As you practice releasing control, you'll feel something new: space. Space to breathe, to rest, to notice, to live. Peace doesn't come from perfect plans. It comes from open hands. As you begin to let go, a quiet question appears in the heart. If I stop controlling everything, how will things be okay? This fear is natural. You've lived so long believing that worry keeps you safe, that relaxing feels like danger. But real safety doesn't come from control. It comes from trust. Trust is not blind hope. It's a deep belief that even if things don't go as planned, you will still find your way. Life has a strange intelligence. It moves, changes, and rearranges everything in ways you can't always predict, yet somehow you survive every single time. Think back to moments when you thought, "I can't handle this." But you did. You found strength you didn't know you had. You made choices that carried you forward. You adapted. That's proof that life supports you more than you realize. Worry hides that truth. It tells you you're alone. But the truth is, life is a river, and you are part of its current. You don't need to control the direction. You just need to stop fighting the flow. Trust starts small. You build it moment by moment. You trust that the morning will come after night. You trust that your lungs will breathe without you asking. You trust that a wound will heal. That same natural intelligence is also guiding your path. You might not see how yet, but every experience is teaching you something. Sometimes life protects you by delaying what you want. Sometimes it removes what isn't right for you, even when it hurts. To practice trust, repeat this simple phrase when you feel fear: "I don't know how, but I will find a way." Say it softly until the words sink into your body. You are not promising that everything will be easy. You are reminding yourself that you can meet life as it comes. Trust doesn't erase uncertainty. It makes you brave enough to face it. Try this small exercise. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and imagine you are floating on a calm river. The water carries you gently forward. You don't need to swim or fight. You just breathe and let it move you. Notice the feeling of being supported, that invisible strength beneath you. That's life. It has always been there, holding you up even when you thought you were alone. Trust is like a seed. You plant it through small acts of faith. Every time you face a challenge and choose calm over panic, the seed grows roots. Every time you breathe instead of overthink, it grows stronger. And one day, without even noticing, you realize that the river of life has carried you far beyond your fear. So when things don't go as planned, whisper to yourself, maybe this is also part of the plan. Not because everything will be perfect, but because you are learning to see meaning even in the unknown. That's the quiet strength of trust. The courage to move forward without needing to control every step. When trust begins to grow, fear doesn't fully disappear. It still visits you sometimes, quietly, unexpectedly. You might wake up one morning and feel a small storm in your chest. The old thoughts return: what if I fail? What if I lose what I love? What if everything changes? Don't be angry with yourself for feeling afraid. Fear is not a mistake, it's a message. It's your body asking for care, not control. It's saying, please notice me. Please listen. Most people try to silence fear with distraction. They run, scroll, eat, or work until the feeling hides again. But fear that is ignored doesn't vanish. It waits. It stays under the surface, whispering louder each time. The secret is not to fight fear, but to understand it. When you understand it, it softens. It becomes smaller, like a child who just wanted to be heard. Next time fear rises, stop and ask it gently, "What are you trying to tell me?" Maybe it's reminding you of a past pain that never healed. Maybe it's warning you to slow down, to rest, to prepare. Sometimes fear has wisdom inside it. You just have to listen without panic. Write down what comes to your mind. Often you'll see that behind every fear is a wish for safety, love, or meaning. Imagine fear as a little bird that lands on your shoulder. If you shout or chase it, it flies away, but it always circles back. If you sit still and listen, it sings a short song and then leaves on its own. That's how your emotions work. They visit, they speak, they move on. You only need to make space for them to pass through. You can also talk to your fear the way you talk to a friend. Say softly, "I see you. I know you're trying to protect me, but I'm okay now." These words are powerful. They remind your brain that you are safe in this moment. You can still act, even with fear by your side. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's walking forward while holding its hand. Here's a small exercise for moments when fear feels heavy. Sit with your eyes closed. Place your hand on your heart and breathe slowly. Imagine each breath as a warm light entering your chest. With every exhale, picture the fear melting a little, like ice turning into water. Don't force it away. Let it flow out naturally. You'll feel your body soften, your heartbeat slow, your shoulders drop. That's understanding replacing resistance. Fear loses power when you name it. Say it out loud. "I'm afraid of losing my job. I'm afraid of failing." Once it's spoken, it becomes real, and what is real can be handled. What is hidden only grows in the dark. Light brings peace because it turns confusion into clarity. The next time worry starts as fear, don't hide from it. Turn toward it. Ask, listen, breathe, and then thank it for visiting. You will start to realize that even fear has a purpose. It teaches you what matters most. When you start to listen to your fear with kindness, something begins to change inside you. You stop feeling like a small boat lost in a storm, and you start to feel like the ocean itself, wide, deep, and strong. The waves of worry still rise, but they no longer control you. They come, they move, they go. You start to see that peace is not the absence of problems. It is the presence of strength. And that strength has been inside you all along, waiting to be remembered. Every time you face fear and breathe through it, you grow stronger. Every time you choose calm over panic, you build quiet courage. Strength doesn't arrive in one big moment. It grows slowly, like a tree. You plant it through small acts of awareness, water it with patience, and protect it with practice. One day you look back and realize you no longer break as easily. You bend, you recover, you continue. To build this inner strength, you need one powerful habit: consistency. Peace grows where practice lives. Even 5 minutes a day of mindful breathing or stillness can change how your brain reacts to stress. The key is not doing it perfectly, but doing it regularly. When your mind learns that calm is always available, it starts to reach for it naturally. Here's something simple you can do every morning. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and place one hand on your chest. Say softly, "I am here. I am safe. I can handle today." Feel how your heartbeat answers you. That rhythm is your reminder. Life moves through you, not against you. This practice builds a small wall of peace around your mind, so when stress comes, it meets calm instead of chaos. Another way to grow inner strength is to focus on what you can control. You can't stop storms, but you can build a shelter. You can't control people, but you can control your reactions. You can't predict the future, but you can prepare your heart to face it with grace. Each time you choose focus over frustration, you teach your mind responsibility instead of fear. Also, take care of your body. It's the home of your mind. Move it gently. Eat slowly. Sleep enough. Stretch your arms and breathe when life feels tight. When your body feels stable, your emotions have a safe ground to rest on. Physical balance creates emotional balance. You can't separate them. Inner strength also grows from honesty. Don't hide from your feelings, even the dark ones. When you say, "Yes, I am sad," or "Yes, I am scared," you make room for healing. Pretending to be fine builds pressure. Telling the truth to yourself releases it. Strength is not about pretending you are unbreakable. It is about knowing you can break and still rebuild. So when life tests you again, and it will, remember the power you've been building quietly inside. You have faced storms before and survived. You are not the same person who once felt lost in fear. You have roots now. And even when the wind blows, you stand. When your strength begins to root itself inside you, your relationship with the world also starts to change. You notice that peace is not only something you feel, it is also something you speak. The words you use every day become small seeds that either grow calm or grow chaos. The mind listens to your language, and your body follows. So if you keep saying, "I'm stressed, I'm worried, I'm tired," your brain begins to build that reality again and again. But if you start to speak softly, clearly, and kindly to yourself, your brain begins to relax. It starts to believe you are safe. Every word carries energy. Think of your words as wind. When the wind blows hard, it shakes everything. But when it moves gently, it cools, comforts, and guides the air around it. Your words can do the same. You can choose to speak in a way that cools your heart instead of heating it. When you say to yourself, "I am learning," instead of "I am failing," your mind opens instead of closing. When you say, "I can try again," instead of "I can't do this," your body finds strength where fear once lived. Start noticing how you speak, not only out loud but in your thoughts. Imagine that every sentence you think becomes a small drop in the ocean of your mind. What kind of ocean are you creating? One of storms or one of sunlight? Begin changing the inner conversation word by word. Replace heavy words with lighter ones. Instead of saying "I'm so anxious," try "I'm feeling alert." Instead of "I'm broken," whisper "I'm healing." These changes seem small, but your brain notices. It begins to associate new emotions with old fears. You can also use peaceful language when talking to others. Speak slowly. Listen before replying. Don't rush to fill every silence. Silence itself can be a kind of peace. When you speak with calm energy, people around you feel it too. You spread quiet without even trying. That's how peace grows, not through big speeches, but through gentle words repeated daily. Here's a small exercise to practice this new language. Each morning, choose one word you want to live by, maybe calm, steady, or grateful. Write it on a piece of paper or in your phone. Throughout the day, repeat it silently whenever worry appears. Let it become a small anchor in your mind. The brain loves repetition. Soon, that one word will start to color your emotions, shaping your responses, painting your day in softer shades. And when you make mistakes, because you will, don't use words that punish you. Say "It's okay. I'm learning." This is not weakness, it's education. You're teaching your nervous system a new language, the language of peace. The more you speak it, the more natural it feels. In time, even your thoughts begin to slow down. Sentences become shorter, gentler. The space between them grows wider. Inside that space, peace breathes. And the voice that once shouted worry begins to whisper kindness instead. As your words grow softer, you start to notice another habit that feeds worry, the habit of rushing. You wake up already in a hurry, move fast, talk fast, eat fast, think fast. The world keeps saying, go faster, do more, be more. But the faster you move, the less you actually live. Rushing is the language of fear. It tells your body that something is missing, that you are behind, that you must run to catch up. But peace moves slowly. It walks, it breathes, it notices. When you slow down, you return to the rhythm of life itself. The heart doesn't beat in a hurry. It beats in a steady rhythm. The ocean doesn't crash all the time. It comes and goes. Nature knows how to move with balance. You can too. The more you slow down, the more your body remembers what calm feels like. You can start by choosing one daily activity and doing it slowly, with full awareness. Maybe it's drinking tea, washing your hands, or walking to the bus stop. Instead of rushing through it, feel each movement. Feel the cup in your hand, the warmth against your skin, the air touching your face. Listen to the small sounds you usually ignore: water running, footsteps, breathing. These small details are doors to peace. Rushing also hides in your thoughts. You might not be moving, but your mind is racing from one idea to another. That's mental speed, and it tires you more than any physical work. To slow it down, use your breath as a brake. When you feel your thoughts running too fast, stop for one deep inhale and one long exhale. Let your breath guide your mind back to a slower rhythm. Even one slow breath can change your whole state. There's a quiet beauty in doing things gently. When you slow down, you make space for meaning. You begin to taste food instead of swallowing it. You hear music instead of noise. You look at people's faces instead of screens. You start to live in color again. Life stops feeling like a race and starts feeling like a dance. Slowness also teaches patience, with yourself and with others. When you rush, you judge. You want results right now. But when you move slowly, you allow things to grow naturally. You understand that change takes time, healing takes time, learning takes time. The tree doesn't force its fruit to appear. It grows quietly until the moment is right. So today, practice walking a little slower. Speak a little softer. Leave space between your actions and your reactions. If someone is angry, wait a few seconds before you respond. If you feel pressure, breathe instead of pushing harder. Peace hides in those small pauses. Slowing down is not falling behind. It's finally moving at the speed of life, the speed where the heart, the mind, and the world can meet in harmony. When you slow down, you stop chasing calm and start living it. When you begin to slow down, something magical happens. The world starts to show you its quiet beauty, the kind that hides in plain sight. You notice the way sunlight rests on a table, the sound of rain tapping against the window, the smell of bread baking somewhere down the street. You begin to see that peace is not waiting in some faraway place or perfect future. It's already here, living inside small, ordinary things. Worry teaches you to chase what's missing. Awareness teaches you to love what's here. Most people overlook these simple gifts because they seem too small to matter. But the mind that can see beauty in small things is the mind that heals. Gratitude is the medicine that softens fear. You cannot feel thankful and anxious at the same time. They speak different languages. The more you practice gratitude, the less space worry has to live in your heart. Try this. Once a day, pause and name 3 things that make this moment good. They can be tiny: warm tea, clean air, a message from a friend, the sound of your own breathing. Say them out loud or write them down. This is not just a feel-good exercise, it rewires your brain. Science shows that gratitude activates calmness and increases emotional strength. It's like giving your mind a soft blanket after a long day. You can also practice seeing beauty in people. Look at someone closely, a friend, a stranger, a family member, and notice something kind about them. Their patience, their smile, the way they try. When you look with gentle eyes, the world looks gentler back at you. Worry shrinks when compassion grows. Sometimes beauty hides in moments that don't feel beautiful at all, like crying after a hard day or sitting alone in silence. Even those moments carry grace. They show that you care deeply, that you are alive, that you are human. Peace is not about smiling all the time. It's about allowing everything, joy, sadness, fear, to belong. When you let every emotion have its place, you stop fighting life. You start living it fully. Next time you feel the storm of worry, look around and ask, what is still good right now? Maybe it's only the sound of your breath or the ground under your feet, but that's enough. Worry tries to take your attention far away. Gratitude brings it home. In the end, beauty is not something you find. It's something you notice. It grows wherever you choose to look with love. When you live with that kind of seeing, even the most ordinary day begins to shine. And the more you recognize beauty around you, the more you recognize peace inside you. As gratitude grows inside you, another door begins to open, the door of acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means making peace with what is real. When you accept, you stop wasting energy wishing life were different and start using that energy to live it fully. You understand that some things will not go the way you planned. Some people will not change the way you hoped, and some questions will never be answered. Yet even with all that uncertainty, life can still be beautiful. Worry always tries to fight reality. It says, this shouldn't be happening. It argues with the present moment as if that argument could rewrite it. But life doesn't listen to arguments. It listens to attention. The more you resist, the more you suffer. Acceptance is the gentle art of saying, this is what's here, and I can meet it with grace. It's not easy, but it's freeing. Think of life like the sky again. Some days it's clear, some days it rains, some days it storms. You can't change the weather, but you can learn to live beneath it. Bring an umbrella, stay inside, or dance in the rain. All are forms of acceptance. The storm doesn't last forever, and neither do your troubles. Acceptance doesn't fix the weather. It helps you find shelter in yourself. Here's a small way to practice it. The next time something doesn't go your way, pause before reacting. Take a slow breath and say softly, okay, this too belongs. Feel how those words calm your body. They remind your mind that not every discomfort is a disaster. Some things just need time to pass. The more you practice this, the less energy you waste on fighting what you can't control. Acceptance also means forgiving yourself. Maybe you made mistakes, said the wrong words, or failed at something important. The mind loves to replay those scenes like a movie on repeat. But forgiveness is the way to stop the film and turn on the lights. You can't move forward while dragging the weight of the past behind you. Tell yourself, I did my best with what I knew then. That sentence alone can lift years of silent guilt. True peace is not born from perfect days. It's born from knowing that even on imperfect ones, you can still breathe, still notice, still begin again. Acceptance gives you that strength. It turns pain into wisdom, loss into depth, and mistakes into lessons. When you learn to accept what is, the noise inside you becomes softer. The future feels lighter. You stop chasing the life you think you need and begin to live the one you already have. And in that quiet acceptance, something beautiful grows, a steady, honest calm that no storm can take away. When acceptance begins to live inside you, peace becomes less of a visitor and more of a home. You no longer need every answer before you rest. You no longer demand that life must always go your way. You begin to move through the world with an open heart. And an open heart is not weak, it is brave. It dares to stay soft in a hard world. It dares to feel, to care, to connect even after being hurt. Worry closes the heart because it's afraid of being broken. It says, don't trust too much, don't love too deeply, don't hope too high. But a closed heart may feel safe, yet it cannot feel alive. Peace needs space to breathe, and that space is created by openness. When you open your heart, you give yourself permission to experience life as it is. Not filtered, not controlled, but real. You can start small. When you speak to someone, really look at them. Listen not only with your ears, but with your presence. When you walk outside, notice how the world meets you. The smell of air after rain, the laughter of strangers, the soft rustle of leaves. Let these moments touch you. Let them remind you that life is still happening now, not later. An open heart is a doorway to the present. Of course, openness also means vulnerability. Sometimes it hurts to stay soft. But avoiding pain creates another kind of pain, the emptiness of disconnection. The heart heals by feeling, not by hiding. When sadness or fear appears, place your hand over your chest and say, it's okay to feel this. Let the emotion rise, breathe with it, and allow it to pass. Feelings are waves. They're not the whole ocean. Keeping your heart open also means giving kindness, even when you get nothing back. Say thank you more. Offer help without waiting for reward. Smile at someone for no reason. These simple acts build quiet strength. They remind you that love isn't only something you receive, it's something you create. Try this small ritual each evening. Before sleep, think of one moment from the day when your heart felt open, maybe a kind word, a shared laugh, or simply a breath of calm. Remember it. Let it stay in your memory like a small candle in the dark. Each night you do this, you train your mind to see warmth instead of fear. An open heart doesn't mean you let the world walk over you. It means you walk through the world with awareness and compassion. You learn to say yes when it's right and no when it's kind. You stop reacting and start responding. You understand that peace doesn't come from building walls, but from standing firm inside your softness. As the heart opens, love becomes less of a romantic dream and more of a quiet force guiding everything. How you speak, how you work, how you rest. Love, in its truest form, is attention. And when you give full attention to life, worry no longer has space to rule you. When your heart opens fully, something gentle yet powerful awakens inside you. You begin to understand that peace was never a thing to find. It was always something to remember. You have been searching for calm in books, people, goals, and places, but all along it was quietly waiting within you, beneath the noise of fear. You realize now that worry was only the shadow of your own light. Once you stop running, the light returns on its own. You start to see that peace is not a final destination. It is a daily practice, a way of walking through life. Some days will still be noisy, some nights restless, but now you know what to do. You breathe, you slow down, you notice, you trust. You come back to this moment, again and again, until calm becomes your natural rhythm. It's not perfection, it's presence. It's not control, it's connection. You carry this new peace into your relationships too. You stop expecting others to fix your feelings because you've learned how to sit with them yourself. You speak softer, listen deeper, love more gently. When someone hurts you, you no longer react with anger first. You take a breath and ask, what might they be carrying? You respond with understanding instead of fear. That is real strength, the kind that heals instead of harms. This quiet strength becomes your new identity. You are not just someone trying to worry less. You are someone living with awareness. You start to notice when your thoughts run fast, but now you smile. You know the path back. You know that one deep breath can open a door. You know that even when life feels uncertain, you are no longer lost. You have built a home inside yourself, a place you can return to no matter what happens. Every day, keep practicing small rituals of peace. Light a candle and watch the flame without hurry. Walk slowly and feel your feet touch the ground. Speak kindly to yourself even when you fall. These little actions are like gentle prayers, telling your body and mind, I am safe here. I belong here. With time, peace stops being a visitor and becomes your nature. And as your heart rests, you begin to share that stillness with the world. People feel calmer around you, not because you try to change them, but because your calm reminds them of their own. That's how peace spreads, quietly, from one heart to another. Now you understand the true art of worrying less. It is not about escaping fear, but walking beside it with grace. It's about breathing in uncertainty and breathing out trust. It's about living fully, even when the future is unknown. So take one more deep breath right now. Feel it fill your chest. And as you exhale, let go of the weight you don't need anymore. You have learned how to live lightly, gently, wisely. The world outside may not slow down, but inside you, there is space. Wide, steady, unshaken. You are not chasing peace anymore. You are the peace.